Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Ronette, and joining me now is Don Gingold. He's here to talk about the Summer Place Theater and ghost stories. So, how are you, Don?
I'm doing great. How about you, Jane?
I am excellent. And we're going to talk right away about the 53rd season of Summer Place Theater. That's hard to imagine.
I know. I don't look that old, do I?
No,
maybe I do.
Totally not.
We had a wonderful season. It was a very different season. We've been for years now, 20 plus years over at Central High School, but the high school redid all the lighting for the auditorium for the kids. Obviously, it's a school, it's for the kids. So the folks that got the short end of that was us. So we had to go find another place. And we did so with the great people over at Community Christian Church. They have a black box theater, 220 seats, gorgeous little theater, and we put all of our three shows on. South Pacific, My Three Angels, and Mamma Mia. And we had sold out crowds, which you can do at a 220 seat theater. It's difficult to sell out a 900 seat theater for community theater. Yeah. So we're really, really pleased with this last season.
Yeah, and I would imagine that kind of gave you an intimacy that perhaps you hadn't had before.
Yes, and a level of energy with people sitting close to one another and everybody packed in. The actors loved it, the audience loved it. It was a great experience. So
good for you.
Big kudos to the folks over at Community Christian Church and a big thank you for them.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Now we're moving to fall, sadly. Yes. You can tell by my flowers. So what's in store for the fall for you?
Well, that's why I'm dressed in black. It's ghost stories in the park in the dark.
In the dark.
Right. We have a 24-year tradition of telling ghost stories the first weekend of October. And we have a group of people that'll be coming, some people coming back and a couple of new people that'll be telling ghost stories. Have a lot of fun. We have stories for kids, stories for older people. There's sometimes we do a song, Werewolves of London, Monster Mash.
Love it.
Yeah, exactly. The Michael Jackson Thriller, those kind of things. And then, of course, just some good scary stories.
Okay. And we range that scariness by the age of the audience, I assume.
Yes.
Scarier for the kids, not so much for us adults.
Right. The adults are cerebral.
Okay,
yes. Exactly.
Now, what really got you started with that? Because obviously you've got a long tradition, but, kind of how did that get started?
Back about 24, 25 years ago, one of our Summer Place board, Diane Ladley, started ghost stories. She is an actual ghost hunter type person. She's got the equipment, the electronics, and all of that. And she tells ghost stories. There are many famous ghost stories around Naperville, around Aurora, around the whole western suburbs. And she has led a group of ghost tours over the years. But way back when is when she got her start doing ghost stories for us. And she started the whole group. And it had been every year, kind of the same kind of a thing. We would have a group of people sit down quietly and sit and listen to a storyteller mesmerize the kids and the adults with a good ghost story. And then another person would come out and do another story, et cetera, et cetera. And we have a team of maybe 5 or 6 or 8, depending on the year, ghost storytellers telling the stories.
That's wonderful. So now what's kind of new for this year with your program?
A couple of things that we're doing, a couple of new stories. Riverview is a long-time Chicago amusement park from back in the day. And one of our ghost storytellers, Dave Santori, is going to be telling a story about his escapades in Riverview as a kid, including the Phantom. That was the Phantom who haunted the roller coaster there.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to be fun.
Now, do people get dressed up when they come for this?
That's a great idea. Let's have them. Come on, everybody, get dressed up.
Yeah, well, I just wonder, if people kind of get into the spirit of the Halloween, and a little bit scary in the dark. So.
Well, what they definitely should do is dress for the weather because it is outside.
Yes,
right.
Okay.
The Grand Pavilion, so you're covered, but all of the Some years you do. It gets very cold in the evening. Some years it's very warm. Some years there's a lot of rain. But the Grand Pavilion is a beautiful big pavilion, all open air, but of course with a roof.
Right.
So you'll be nice and dry once you get under there.
Okay.
And it's no matter what the weather is. rain or shine, we're going to be there and do the performance.
Yeah. Now, do we need tickets for that, Don?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now, the Park District, of course, we're at the Park District's Grand Pavilion, and they are partners with us in Ghost Stories.
Okay.
They are the ones that are selling the tickets. So if you buy your tickets ahead of time, you go over to the Park District. The easiest thing is to go to summerplacetheater.org and click on the button that says Buy Tickets. We'll route you over to the page on the Park District side.
Okay, wonderful.
To get the tickets. $7 for anybody.
Okay.
Adults or children, just one low price.
Okay.
And if you don't buy your tickets ahead of time, but you still want to go, we'll take cash or charge at the door.
Okay, at the door, to the pavilion.
Right, exactly. We'll put a sentry up, and you have to get past that person.
Not what's the special word?
Right.
Okay, wonderful. Now let's jump ahead a little bit because fall's a little cold, and then we get into that winter thing. So much better to get back out on the other side to summer.
And things summer.
2020. What's coming up for Summer Place Theater in 2020?
We have an exciting season in store for you next summer. We are celebrating freedom. It is the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. Mm-hmm. So because of that, we picked 3 shows that will fit in that. The first show, Cabaret. We're talking to a director, and he had a great observation of Cabaret. There are monsters and there are villains. The monsters are the Nazis. The villains are the ones that let them into power. So Cabaret is a wonderful story and great music, and we've all remembered those. It is the 1967 version, so the original Cabaret.
Okay.
Then we have The Diary of Anne Frank, which, of course, just last year was the 75th anniversary of that. But because of the season pulling it all together, we put that in the middle. The last one, the big, exhilarating Sound of Music, which, of course, is all the family of the Von Trapps and all of the fun inside the family amid the time where they were when Nazi Germany was coming to rise to power and Austria they had people who wanted their independence.
Yeah.
And of course that whole story, and we've seen it with Julie Andrews, and we're putting it on the stage. We've done it years ago. It's a great community theater piece because there's lots of nuns.
Yeah.
You've got a number of kids. We have to find just the right kids, but plenty of people can be in the shows. And we are a community theater, and that's where our actors come from, our community.
Which is wonderful. Well, that sounds like an absolutely amazing season.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
I wish you all the best.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to hope for slightly warmer weather for you for your ghost
Thank
stories.
you.
And then we'll look forward to hearing more about 2020 back at Summer Place Theater.
Very good.
Thank you. If you would like to learn more about Summer Place Theater or purchase tickets to the Ghost Stories in the Park, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.